about how you guys made your cosplays?
A lot of crying and tears
and unpicking, much unpicking.
and having to make it work.
Yeah.
I have horrible buyer's regret. Horrible, crippling buyer's regret. But then it arrives and I love it. So I should get out more. Yeah, it really takes up too much of my time. I try to do other things.
I wasn't doing my homework or spending time with people, I guess, is one of the main things that I find, like, when something like that, you get too into it, you just constantly talk about it, you're constantly doing something that has to do with it or something, and you kind of cut yourself off a little bit. Like, I don't regret spending all of my time watching a TV show or being on Tumblr, but I think that you can definitely get too into it and possibly not realise that you're just not out there communicating with people. I find that once I stopped going on Tumblr all the time, or once I stopped kind of obsessing in a way, I was like, well, what do I do with my time, you know? And it kind of becomes a big part of their life.
It's a good form of procrastination.
And especially procrastinating sleeping. That's the worst habit I have, when I should go to sleep, but I'm like, nah, I'm gonna read. I'll have a cheeky read of a little fanfiction just to put myself to sleep, and it's 600,000 words! And I need to go to the 8 o'clock class! And I read the whole thing! I think it takes up a hell of a lot of my time, to be honest. I think you never really, once you're as far into fandom as me, you're never not thinking about it really. Like, I have dreams about it. I devote a lot of my mental energy to remembering things about fandom when it could probably be used to, you know, remember my business assignments. I haven't read a real book for a very long, I can't even remember.
For the person, I think it offers them an escape for reality. It helps them to cope with maybe what's going on in their life. But I also think that it can be overdone, so they just forget about reality.
We like to transpose fandom into our real life. So I don't know if what I do is healthy. I know it works for me. I have a very obsessive personality, and so when I have to obsess over something, it's better that I obsess over a fictional character's life than my own life, because otherwise I'll have like a nervous breakdown or something. Just sort of stick that out there, and all the people in the fandom are like sitting alone in their mother's basement, like not doing anything with their lives. Because pretty much everyone who goes to the Super Bowl is in the sports fandom, right? Nobody thinks any ill of them for buying the jerseys and freaking out at games. No one thinks anything bad for them because it's sports. But when we freak out about our fictional characters and stuff, everyone's like, well, that's just silly.
And they're expressing themselves in the way that they want to, that they might not feel kind of freely to do it any other time. Sometimes people just don't quite understand. They'll just watch the TV show and they'll be like, oh yeah, I enjoy this TV show, this is a cool TV show, but you can be really invested in it.
The people is like at Armageddon who are, you know, the general public and they aren't in cosplay, you can get some looks from them just because they're like, what are you doing, kind of thing. But I don't mind that because that's kind of a par for the course. People look at adults in costume and are like, what's going on? Like, is it a sex thing? Is it some kind of weird thing that you guys have? Or, you know, your fan art is getting picked apart and you're being called a racist, and cosplay's the same as well. People feel that if you're changing your skin tone for a character, then you're blackfacing it. People getting called, you know, for blackface, being told they're a horrible person because they're cosplaying Ganondorf from Legend of Zelda who has green skin. Yeah, accepting in general. I mean, I know that's what most fandoms preach, but obviously in reality most of the time it's a little bit different.
They all band together like a family. I found a lot of the time on Tumblr, if people are going through a tough time, they might blog about it, and then everyone who's like in their little fandom group will like come together and be like, it's okay. Like, you make lifelong friends.
Kind of find people who like the same thing as you that can support you.
I really, really enjoy the creativity that people have. Fandom can change things, and it's just really, good to know that we can do something. We can influence what we're watching. We can influence what we're reading. There's thousands and thousands and thousands of people, all of their opinions coming together, and now we're influencing their content because they want to make us happy. I mean, Dad and Phil probably don't just want to make more money. Like, they have enough. They want to make, they want to make us happy because they like being entertainers. Because they were just these two, like, nobody guys. They're like an international phenomenon now. Like, they have a book, they have a tour.
It's amazing that we can all come together and make things like that happen.